Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pageant Sit Down. I know it's a little bit later than usual, but life happens and we just had to go with the punches today, and that's okay. I definitely did not want to miss today's episode because today is episode 40. Crazy to think we've spent 40 days together, kind of like Lent, 40 days together and just talking all things pageantry. So I thought, what could I do to make episode 40 still happen and be special? So I figured, why not bring on someone who's watched literally every single episode, has been on the show, and has been a part of the conversation. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the one, the only Elizabeth Marnoch. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, everyone. What's going on, Regine?
Welcome back. First off, when you were here, you had mentioned what your dream pageant title would be one day. And now Look at you. Can you give us a quick update on what you've been up to since you've been on last?
Yeah, it's actually quite an interesting update. I was formerly the IJM Miss Canada, and unfortunately with the pandemic situation, I wasn't able to go. So I had to relinquish my title. There's no bad blood. It's all good. I really enjoyed the system and I had a fantastic time. But of course, with COVID, it just didn't work out. And that, when one door closes, another one opens, right? So I took the opportunity to sign up for the International Junior Miss Pageant, and I'll be representing Canada in the Miss division this year as your 2021 IJM Canada Miss, as that's happening in November. And I am more hopeful that restrictions will be opening then. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's a pageant that I've mentioned many times before that I wanted to compete at. So I'm taking a swing at it.
And I'm so excited. And, you just celebrated a big milestone as well, your birthday. So happy birthday. I love the balloons and the festivities. This was a quick, can you come on the show? And she got the setup so fast.
Yeah, it's great. They're all filled with my own air. I blew them up myself. So a lot of hard work went into this wall behind me.
I love it. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us such last minute. I know there are some people who are tuned in. Welcome everyone to Pageant Sit Down episode 40. Liz, can you believe we are at episode 40?
Craziness. 40 times my phone's dinged that Pageant Sit Down is going, and I was there. I've loved watching them. It's been really fun and interesting to hear the different perspectives, people who are new in pageantry and more experienced. There's so much you can learn from everyone, and I know I've learned a lot, and I feel like I've been in pageants for a while, but you always keep growing, so it's cool to hear from everybody from all over the world.
I know, it's so surreal because Elizabeth, you've been one of those people that I first spoke to when it was just an idea. And so now here we are. But we're also joined by Scott Marnoch, who says, #support the Marnochy. I cannot speak today. Support the Marnochy. He says, RuPaul Drag Race is 13 seasons. I mean, yes, they're 13 seasons. They're just 40 episodes. Okay, well, if you think about it, how many episodes are there in a season? Like 14?
14, 15, yeah. 13 was like 20.
Yeah. Oh, he says you have 400 more episodes ahead of you. All right.
There you go.
Thank you, Scott. So now I'm going to start talking about Drag Race. Let's not do that right now. That's after the show. He says you're only getting started. Yes, we are only getting started, and I'm just so grateful to have people like yourself, Liz, who have been here since the beginning. Cindy with an S has been one of them. Scott Dion Brown has been one of them, and here we are, 40 episodes. I still can't get over it. But let's talk. Let's talk because we're here to talk pageantry.
Of course.
You've been watching every single episode. You were one of our guests. Your sister was one of the guests. Yeah. What has been one of your favorite episodes so far? Favorite episodes so far?
Oh, there's been so many. I've really personally enjoyed the one with Crystal Cavey. I thought that was really fun, knowing I got to meet her at internationals when I competed at Galaxy International in 2019. And she's one of those people that is very inspiring. She knows what she wants to say, and she had a lot of great advice to give, especially to the girls in the Canada Galaxy system, as a lot of the people we know and are in our circle are competing there. So it was interesting to see what she had to say as an international winner. So I really enjoyed that one.
Me too. You know, she could talk. And what I loved about that episode is I didn't have to say anything.
Yeah. Made your job easy.
Exactly. I love when people come on and they just talk, and then all of a sudden it's 8:30 and I'm like, yeah, all right. And that's a wrap.
Have a lovely evening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who would be your most interesting guest?
Interesting guest? I don't know. I mean, it was interesting for me when I saw my sister on the show, because I was sitting downstairs watching, of course. But yeah, it was interesting to see her do her interview, because I haven't seen her do that too much, especially on like live videos. I know she did the Sit Down with John Brown, a separate podcast show. But that was really the only other time I've seen her do it publicly. So it was really fun for me to watch. And also my uncles who are in the chat, they loved watching it too. So it was just a fun one, really memorable for me.
I love that. I loved having both you and your sister on at different times just to see your perspectives through pageantry, because she saw it through your lens in the beginning, and then now to see it through hers is it's so fun to see. And speaking of sisters, I do want to give a shout out to the junior division of Canada Galaxy, because it was recently announced that the juniors, so that means the Costi sisters and Nicole, will be on their way to internationals in South Texas in August. I was so excited for them.
So excited for them. I know they've been going, it's been a rough road, so I'm just so thankful that they're getting their opportunity, and I cannot wait to cheer them on so hard. We love Team Canada in this house for sure.
I'm so excited for them. I know it's a decision that they all had to make very carefully. They thought about it. They've been vaccinated and they are ready to go. And with the news that if you're fully vaccinated in Canada, you no longer need to quarantine. And I think that's what really pushed them across the border and 100%. Are making their way. So I'm so excited.
It's going to be so good for pageants just in general, especially with Canadian pageantry, being able to cross the border, because so many of our competitions are held in the United States. So I'm just really hoping everyone's going to be able to safely travel, get to these competitions that they've been preparing for so long. And, you know, we have so many amazing talent in Canada of like people in pageantry, and I can't wait for the world to see that.
Me too. And now they can, because the world's opening up again, one day at a time, one step at a time. Let's put it that way.
Slowly but surely.
Yes. And, you know, you were on the show. You were one of the very first guests on the show. And I said it earlier, you were one of the first people who said, this is my dream pageant, my dream title. And then within months, it came true. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. She just put it out into the world, and here you are now. How excited are you now to have this dream title that you've been wanting for so long?
I am so excited. This is it kind of revived my excitement for pageantry, because I'd been stuck in kind of a bit of limbo with I don't know if I'm going, or like for several years with the pandemic. It was quite difficult to see everyone else going and competing and doing all these things, and I'm just kind of have to sit to myself. So now I feel like I'm going to this, I'm preparing, I'm putting my absolute all into it, and I'm pushing myself further than ever before. So I feel like I'm going to be very prepared, and that makes me really excited, because as much as I would love to win IJM, it's just honestly an honor to be there, and I cannot wait to just experience the pageant powerhouse that we're creating this year with International Junior Miss and National American Miss. It's going to be really quite the pageant event of the year. So to even be there is going to be a huge honor.
I cannot wait. It's November in New Jersey?
No, that's going to be in Orlando, Florida in November. Yes.
I'm getting my pageants mixed up, but I'm just so excited that it's happening. Okay, so here's another question for you. You know, the last time you were here, I asked what would be your dream pageant if it wasn't the one that you are currently your title was at the time. So now that you have your dream title, what is then? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna ask you what your next year, because you might end changing your title. Let's not do that.
You never know.
So for all of you who are watching, if you have any questions for myself or for Elizabeth, whether it be about pageantry or about IJM, let us know, because that's what we're here for, to talk pageantry, to talk the Pageant Sit Down, and just to, I guess, even talk Drag Race, because Scott Marnoch is in the house.
That's what I was just watching when I got up here, so I'm always ready.
I started watching the All-Star 5. Oh, I'm so excited that I found it, first off. And now I can watch it. I'm on a free trial for 30 days, so I'll be done this weekend.
Of course. You zoom through them, so I expect a full review by the weekend.
Next week.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So let's see. Scott with a C is in the house, is what Scott Marnoch said.
Love it.
So then I want to ask you more about, pageantry. You've currently stepped into a different world of department, let's say, in the pageant world. You've now stepped into makeup. What has it been like for you to learn about makeup and the industry during this pandemic?
Oh, I mean, during the pandemic, it's been interesting. My focus has always been on creating pageant makeup. I'm really inspired by the amazing pageant hair, big lashes, really glam looks, and I can't wait for the world to open up and I can actually perform it on people. But until that time that we're all looking forward to, I've been taking all my classes online, which has been very interesting. I've been practicing on my sister and submitting my homework assignments, and we have to submit pictures of every look and with the eyes closed so they can get detailed pictures, and then I get video responses back. It's kind of it's definitely an interesting learning curve with online learning just in general. But it's been really interesting, and I hope that I'll be able to create some really cool pageant looks. I have reached out to a bunch of pageant systems within Canada, and I've gotten some great responses, so I'm looking forward to starting that up. If you're a pageant girl in Canada or anywhere in the world, make sure you let me know, send me a DM, contact me.
Where can they find you, Liz?
You can find me at Elizabeth Marnoch Artistry on Instagram.
Perfect. And for those who were trying to figure out why we came on at a later time, so our original guest did have something come up, a personal situation that she had to deal with. And so of course, me calling Elizabeth, I go, I don't know what to do. Do I cancel the show? But it's episode 40. I don't want to. This girl was literally in her pajamas, and within 5 minutes, a full face of makeup. And this is what makeup school does to you.
You gotta be quick. You gotta be very quick.
Exactly. Well, no, I was curious because my mom, as some people know, she's also a hair and makeup artist. Calling her out, Beautified by Romina. Check her out Instagram and Facebook. Anyways, so I know when she did makeup school, she had to do different faces in person, different looks, and you doing it virtually. I was so curious to know how that worked, but I guess it helps living with your mom and sister.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an different experience because you do want to learn different skin tones, different skin types and face shapes. But we've learned that more just like by viewing on the computer screen. So I definitely, once the world opens up, I'd love to have some pageant girls of all backgrounds come visit me, or I'll come to them, do their makeup for free. You can do a photo shoot. I just want more practice. I want some hands-on experience. So it'd be great to be able to do that.
So, I got a face.
Oh, you're first on the list, Miss Regine.
I love that. Well, I can't wait. Either I have to make my way to London, or you have to come to Toronto, whichever one comes first.
Whatever's most convenient.
Perfect. Well, I cannot wait to see what you come up with. And you also do nails, which every pageant girl needs. There you go. So,
placement today.
So, are you just, I know a lot of people pick up hobbies. Some people do. Like for myself, I did chocolate bombs. I started the Pageant Sit Down. For you, do you do things that you, because I know, and you and I have talked about it when you were here, you've done so many different things in the past. Are you now more focused on things that are related to pageantry, or did that just happen?
I think all my interests and hobbies kind of connect with one another, and they kind of, once I'm in one, it leads me to something new, and once I go from there, it takes me somewhere else. And that's definitely a cool experience that I've been able to find these different like niche things, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I will just take whatever I can and I'll do whatever I want to do. If I don't succeed at it, if I don't like it, I can just leave it. You know, I just don't think there's ever any big risk that you can't take, especially when it comes to like finding your passion, something you like to do, because it can open up a whole new world for like me. Like it's opened up Canada Galaxy when I joined pageants and did makeup and became the delegate coordinator for Canada Galaxy. I have all this like plethora of people in my Facebook and in my contacts that I can reach out to at any point from all across the country. And people, I don't know if people see the value in that, but I definitely do. Having an amazing network of people around you can really help develop you in every part of your life, professionally and just personally. So I've really enjoyed that. And yeah, I mean, it's cool to get to know people from that world and then also see them on like podcasts like this. I know there's been tons of Canada Galaxy girls on here. So it's just, it makes you feel like you're a part of something bigger, I guess.
Well, everything that you've done, you've been so talented and so successful.
Thank you.
And I do hope all the best for your, not just nail line, so it's Marnoch Nails, for those who are wondering, and your makeup line, because, or your makeup artistry line. I was like, not makeup line. Maybe one day you'll have a makeup line. I think I just put it out there. Day. Sorry. The things that come out of the show, you never know.
Manifestation.
Exactly. Comes hard in this show, but what can you do? So talking about, you know, you've mentioned a few of the guests on the show were Canada Galaxy. You as a pageant, or as the pageant the
delegate
coordinator of Canada Galaxy, what has it been like for you being a previous reigning queen of Canada Galaxy and now seeing the new set of girls who are coming in?
It's really cool. It's cool to be on the other side and to get to know the people, because as much as, you know, I have great relationships with people from the 2019 pageant, also the 2020 pageant when I was giving up my title. But it's different when people are talking to you about appearances and their volunteer opportunities and really expressing how much hard work they're pouring into this competition. Because when you're competing yourself, you know, you care about other people, but you're really focused on yourself. It is an individual competition. But it's been really cool to help guide people from all ages, from all around the country. It's really cool. And I know it's going to be a big party when we all see each other in real life. I can't wait to, you know, if it's allowed, give everyone a hug and, you know, and just like really embrace that we're like the Canada Galaxy family. I mean, I might not be a Canada Galaxy queen anymore. I've had that experience, but it's kind of like you never retire, you just become staff. So you're always a part of it.
Are you trying to tell me something?
I mean, it's up to you.
It's up to Cindy, not to me.
I guess so, really.
I love that. Well, again, to those who are watching, if you have any questions for myself or for Elizabeth, let us know in the chats. Oh, just kidding. We do have a question here. So Scott asks, Elizabeth, what is your new platform that you launched this week?
Oh, thank you for that segue, Scott. I appreciate that. My platform is Think Big Shop Small. So every week I'll be doing a weekly highlight of a small business, trying to give them some visibility and some promotion, because I know, you know, like we mentioned, my Marnoch nails and my makeup artistry, it's kind of hard to get it started and like get going with people just seeing your product and what you do. So I wanted to help people out, and it's a simple way of me just showing a little bit of my own support for the small business community, which I love so much. And yeah, I'm really excited to do that. I did my first post today with Women's Creations. If you guys are pageant people or just getting married or anything, you can get some custom designs from our good friend Cindy with an S at Woodlands Creations.
Amazing. And you have a discount code, right?
Oh yes, use code IJM Canada for 10% off.
Amazing. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Well, I think your platform is amazing. I know you've
thank you.
showcased my small business once upon a time, and I just think that
Yeah.
it's great, support local. I know I think I heard on the news someone say buy local or buy local. So,
hmm Yeah, yeah. It's especially with the pandemic, it's more important than ever, because with different restrictions, we've only been able to shop at some big box stores, and that's great for those businesses, of course. But we don't want to ruin our economy, and we don't want to ruin people's livelihoods when we could be supporting them, and they're doing a lot of work to make it accessible. So I like to support local as much as I can.
exactly.
Yeah,
And with the world opening up and the GTA and Ontario opening up again, make sure
yeah,
you all support the local businesses because they need you the most, especially the local restaurants, the mom and pop restaurants.
yeah.
You all want to go run to a patio, run to a mom and pop one because
Please, yeah.
they need your help the most.
Yeah, and they're so sweet. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I took up earlier on in the pandemic, I was really struggling to find employment. So I ended up picking up a skip the dishes bag and was driving around town. And some of my favorite times was when I went into the local shops and was able to deliver food so that they could get their product out. And they were always so sweet and so like grateful for the support. So it just made me like, I felt really important. I was running around with my little red bag around town.
On your bike, right?
The first time, yeah, the first time I actually delivered, I delivered a single burrito, 2 kilometers down the road. It was very fun, but I was exhausted.
On a bike.
On a Yes.
I love that. So, Liz, do you have any questions about the Pageant Sit Down or anything that we've talked about on the show? I would love to just get your recap
Yeah.
or your views on what the Pageant Sit Down is.
Well, you asked me what my favorite interview was. Regine, you've been there for all of them. Which one's your favorite?
I think my favorite, they're all my favorite because, I get to meet all these different people that the conversation that we have is so raw, and it's the first time I've met them.
Yeah.
I can't just pick one. I feel like every single episode, every single person has been so vulnerable and so open with who they are that
Mhm.
it's just so surprising sometimes to how honest people get on this show. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
starting to feel like Dr. Phil. Like, I didn't sign up for
Mhm.
this, but thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, there's been some incredible stories, and
Mhm.
it is not surprising that they share this, but it's really inspiring that they choose to share this on live. And because as pageant title holders, we have responsibility to be like a public figure and to promote certain things that may be a little bit hard to talk about. And so, especially on a platform like YouTube, a huge platform where everyone can see, you really are getting kind of vulnerable. But I love it, and you're always so respectful, and so you ask great questions that help bring out the story, which I always love. So
Thanks.
yeah.
Well, thank you for watching every single episode. So Katie asks for both of you, who would be a dream guest to see on the Pageant Sit Down? Oh my
Ooh.
God. You go first because
Oh no. Okay, what am I gonna say? A dream guest.
dream guest.
I would say, I don't know. I would say like someone like Pia Wurtzbach. Like that would be
Ooh.
crazy. She would have
Mhm.
such an incredible story with obviously the 2015 meltdown of Miss Universe pageant. That would be a very interesting interview.
I
How
would
about you,
love
Regina?
to have Pia, I'd love to have Catriona, any of the Miss
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah.
For me, I would probably say Venus Raj, who was
Okay.
Miss Universe Philippines, I believe 2010.
Yeah.
She was one of the first beauty queens that I really remembered and connected with because
Mhm.
she is dark skinned. She is a dark or tanned Filipino, and to hear her story and the struggle that she went through, I remember watching Miss Universe. I was in the Philippines when it happened, and to
Oh
just
wow.
see the Philippines kind of like explode because they made it to the top. It was just incredible and it was so inspiring. And then she came back
Yeah.
to the Philippines while I was still there, and I was able to bump into her at an event that she was
Oh,
like she was
wow.
on a show, and I was watching the show like in the audience, and she
Yeah.
walked by and I was like, oh, and I just had gotten into pageantry at that time, so I was like, can I get a picture with you? It's the ugliest picture, but I got I got a picture with her, and I would love to have Venus Raj on the show.
Yeah, wouldn't that be incredible? Like, and I think the sky's the limit. I think that's totally possible, and
Mhm.
the more people we get on the show, the better. The more stories we hear, the more fun. So
Exactly. You know,
hit us up.
I also want to get a guy on the show.
Yeah,
I've been telling Scott Dion Brown that I do want to have him on the show just to get a male's perspective of he's done a pageant, he's
yeah,
emceed a pageant, he's now the president for Canada's Top Choice and runs their pageant. So I really want to get him on this. He's not a dream
yeah.
guest. He's just a
That'd
guest
be
that I would like to
cool.
have.
That'd be really cool. And there's a lots of like former like Mr. World Canada
Mr.
people and
International,
Supra.
yeah.
Yeah, so that would be actually really cool. I think that'd be fun to hear, like you said, a different perspective because it's different kind of pageantry, you know, as in male pageants. So I would be very interested to hear about how that experience goes because I've never personally experienced it.
I would also like to get to know what it's like to be a part of the monarchy and the starter
Mm,
of the monarchy, and maybe have a viewer on the show one day.
yeah,
Hint,
I
hint,
mean,
Scott.
that would be amazing.
We could do a dual Scott on the show.
Yeah, seriously. That'd be so good.
That would be hilarious. I would love that. We'll see what happens. I
Yeah,
mean, your uncle says 400 more episodes to go, so
yeah.
challenge
You gotta get those
accepted.
slots filled. Yeah.
So typically on the show, Liz, we do 5 tips from a beauty queen, but I want to know from your perspective, he says
Okay.
Scott with an S, from your perspective, I want to know what are some 5 things that you've learned from the beauty
Mm.
queens that we've had on the show.
Oh, 5 things that I've learned from the beauty queens on the show. Well, I would say for one, I'm inspired by the way that they have all able to show their personalities in a different way on this program here. And I think that's cool to think about when we're thinking of the interview competition and how, you know, we always think pageant patty, very proper, prim, and some people have let loose a little bit more. Some people have been a little bit like more professional. So it's just interesting to see the different styles of pageants when maybe that's not something we're always used to and we don't actually think about. And number two, I've liked to see like the different systems because you've had a lot of great diversity within the systems, and I've liked to learn a lot about systems that I don't know about or haven't competed in myself. And you know, I've been taking notes. I was like, oh, that one sounds interesting. That's cool. You know, just finding the little differences between them. Number three, kind of what I talked about before. I really like I like learning about the people's perspective who were brand new because I know when I first started, I had a very different idea of what was pageantry because I didn't do a ton of, I mean, I did research, but I didn't do as much as I should have originally. And it's cool to see people like Anne Marie and there's a bunch of people who are their very first pageant in person, and it's cool to see how they've prepared and they seem like they really have everything together. So I've really been inspired by that. And what am I at? Four. What else? I mean, we've had a whole bunch of different ages on the show too, like from what I've seen. And it's like people in the older divisions definitely have different experiences and life experience to talk about, as opposed to someone who's maybe in the miss or even the teen division. And it's cool to see the variations of it. And I've learned that, you know, you can be a pageant queen at any age. Not that I didn't think that before, but it just solidifies that there's a lot of amazing women who are a part of our industry. And number 5, I don't know. I just really think that I've really just learned that we are one big whole community and that we all support each other within the comment sections, within asking each other questions, submitting it on Instagram. It's been really cool to have that support from all around the world. So that's what I've learned from everyone. It's been an eye-opening experience. I've really enjoyed watching all of these little podcasts.
Well, thank you for that.
Sorry if I was too long-winded.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. I kind of threw you out there, but we're preparing you for interview, and I just love hearing people's perspective of the show, what they've learned, what they've gained out of it, because then it kind of reminds me that, okay, there is a reason to why this show continues to happen twice a week. Oh, Janice is in the chats, the Costi girls. So she says, hi, ladies. Hello.
Hello, Janice. Congratulations to your girls.
Yes, like we mentioned it earlier, not sure if you just jumped on. We are so excited for the girls to be competing at internationals this summer.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. But yeah, so Liz, thank you for sharing your 5 tidbits. Just because, again, I wanted to know, what is it like for a viewer and what are they learning? What are they getting out of it? So thanks for that.
Yeah, of course.
I love it. Janice says, thank you. Finally, good news. Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth, I know this episode was a last-minute thing for you. So again, thank you so much for joining me this evening. We are going to have to cut it short tonight just because it's 8:30 and it's beautiful outside. And again, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for this last minute jump on and for catching up with us. And congratulations on your new title. If people wanted to follow you and learn more about your new journey or your platform, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at IJM Canada Miss, or you can follow my personal page at liz.marnoch, and I try to keep everything updated on there so you can follow along to my journey to the crown in November.
Amazing. Again, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for your time this evening and for always being there for me. I know we joke around. We always joke around saying that if I ever I need somebody to come on to call you. And it looks like that's what's happening. So this may not be the last time you see her.
Today.
I know. I did. Well, thank you for that. And again, to all of you who are in the chats, thank you for joining us. I know it's a little bit off timing today, but again, thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed our recap and have enjoyed the last 40 episodes of Pageant Sit Down, please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to this channel. We go live every Monday and Wednesday for the Pageant Sit Down. Next week we have 2 amazing guests as well, and I'm sure you would love to meet them. Again, Elizabeth, thank you for joining me. To everyone, thank you as well for joining us and for being a part of the conversation. Scott Marnoch, thank you for always bringing up Drag Race. It brings out so much laughter and so much fun to everyone who tuned in. Again, thank you, Elizabeth. Happy birthday and stay safe, and we'll see everyone soon. Bye.
Bye.